Now that we've created the ring pop candy with just a simple circle, the next thing would be to create the plastic that actually contains now the ring section. So we're going to add a circle. I'm going to hit Shift A, mesh, circle, and it's quite huge. So we'll reduce this. I think for me it's quite huge because I reloaded the file, so it doesn't remember the settings that I had before. But if you're continuing with your file, it should remember the 8 vertices that we used plus the radius. So for the radius for this is going to be 0.016. And then for the vertices, instead of 32, I'll use something lower like 24. And this is now the plastic, right? Then I'll hit the tab key, and then I will search for grid fill. So here it is. Okay. Then what I want is I want this to line up. So I want this edge. So this particular edge, let me select it. So Alt click. So this particular edge, I want it to line up with the X axis. So to do that, I'll switch to the top. Then I'll hit A to select everything. Then I will start rotating. So I'll hit R and then just rotate it up to that point. The reason I want this is because usually with these ring pop candies, there's a particular line that runs from this area downwards, and also there's also a line that runs through the plastic. So that's what I want to mimic with this. So for now, we're just setting up the base shapes, and then later on, we're going to refine. So I'm going to hit E on the keyboard, and then I'll drag this down just a bit, like that, for example. Okay. Then I'll tab out, right? Then the other thing I would like to do is usually with these ring pop candies, at the center here, there's always like a plastic piece. So I'll hit the backslash to get into isolation. I'll hit the tab, then I'll hit 3 to get into faces. Then I will select these 3 faces. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert these faces. So I'll hit I and then drag, then click to accept. That is on the left mouse button. Then I want this to be circular. So that's where the loop tools come into play. So I right click, loop tools. So remember under my preferences, so edit preferences, add-ons, this is loop tools add-on that I have added or that I have installed. So that's what is going to pop up when I hit the right mouse button, and the first option is loop tools. So I'm going to choose circle, and then I'm going to maybe scale it up a bit. So I'll hit S just a bit. Then I can switch to the font, I think. Then I'll hit E, then S, then G, Z to move it. Then the thing that I want us to add is a subdivision surface. So with this selected, we'll go to the add modifier, and then under generate, we can add subdivision surface. But notice it's not that appealing, like things kind of messed up, right? So I could use the bevel, but I'd prefer to just set this up myself. So let me show you what I mean. So I'll hit the tab key. Then I will just turn off the subdivision modifier in the edit mode. Then I'll start adding edge loops myself just to reinforce where I want to have hard edges and where I want the mesh itself to be smooth. So I'll add edge loops around here. So I'll hit Ctrl R, and if I hover here and drag my, or rather move my middle mouse up and down, you can see we're adding edge loops. So I just want to add 2. And then I'll turn this back on to see what's happening. Then I'll come over here. We still have that clipping issue. So clip start, under view, I can reduce this. Then again, the reason I'm having this issue is because I reloaded my file. So it doesn't remember what I had said before. So Ctrl R again, but the same, I'll just have one loop, then I'll click, then I'll drag it up, then I'll click to accept. Then the same here, Control R, that is for this top face. Actually, yeah, so Control R. Kind of having a difficult time choosing it. So a better way would be if I hit 3, select these faces and I insert. Then I have an edge loop created, right? Then I can add another edge loop around here. So Control R, somewhere there. So I'll drag, and again Control R and drag. Of course, with this we can choose to bevel actually. So if I undo this, I can select this edge loop. So I'll hit 2, Alt Shift, then I can choose to bevel. So bevel the edges. Then as I drag, I can click, or as I drag my mouse, I can actually adjust the middle mouse and I can add a new loop. So I just want one loop. So you can drag the middle mouse up, down. That's going to determine the number of edge loops that you want. So 1 is fine. Okay. Then I can come over here. So over here we can, again, I'll shift. But here we're having the issue of, we need to come and select manually because it doesn't select the loop itself. And then we can do it for the top one and the bottom one at the same time. You can choose to bevel. So I can choose bevel edges, so spacebar, bevel edges, and again, just one loop. And to make like a subtle adjustment, hold down Shift and then drag and click to accept, right? Now if I turn this back on, you can see, I exit, that this is more reinforced. And we can select this, right click, choose shade smooth, and we have our plastic. And now if I exit isolation mode by clicking on the backslash, this is what we have. We have our ring pop, and then we have the plastic itself. So what we're missing is the ring